What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Horror Conversations. Oh my God, we're the openers for the State of the Union tonight.
The state of the con's far more interesting.
It just it clicked because I was thinking about the State of the Union address earlier, and then it made me think of State of the Con and how we just could not stand that name, and then kind of were just thinking for months and months, and now it's just funny that the two correlated on the same evening.
Yeah, anything politics, and I can't be the only one out there that feels that way. Anything related to politics just makes my butthole clench up and my soul dies a little bit. So, yeah, State of the Con was just a little too on the nose for that. So
I'm with you on that one, and a big one for me too is, we are the convention. This is what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be throwing down laws, though, but we're not going to get political. I just had to answer for that.
The be a decent human person among others kind of discussion. So
good old con etiquette. And listen, along the way, feel free to ask questions in the comments. If I know a lot of you reach out, through messages to all of us to ask questions, but this show is here for that too. Even if you're listening to it at a later time or whatever, you can always reach out and ask questions about future things going on. So, it's important to keep together on that and talking about it. That's what the show is for. So, I'm going to put up right now, guys, frequently asked questions and rules links from the website from carolinafearfest.com. That is up in the comments right now. So you can jump in there if you want to follow along with everything we're kind of talking about. But Stephanie, how are you?
I'm good. The planning is coming along nicely. So things are rocking and rolling as far as that goes. So I'm excited about a lot of the things that we have happening. I haven't quite hit the stage yet where I'm just still frantic at my computer at midnight. Desperate times with all of it, but those times are coming. We've got mostly actually I've been trying to just the normal planning stuff, but also planning all of the places we're going to be. We're doing a lot more in-person marketing this year, so we've got a lot of local and regional events that we're doing over the next couple of months, and just kind of pulling that together. I forgot to grab one to show it off, but I did get a whole box of brand new ink pens that say Carolina Fear Fest on them today. And so those are handouts along with our postcards with information that we do at events. So
how many pens can I have if I put on different disguises each time?
Well, we don't pay that much attention to the pens. I'll be but yeah, honestly, it's actually not a bad thing to throw out there. If anybody's got any great ideas for things that they like when they go to conventions and trade shows, what kind of things do you like as handouts that you use regularly and help remind you of those businesses that you want to keep in touch with or events you want to keep going to?
I had an idea. I don't know if I could, because it's just more of a fun idea. It's not like can we do this sort of thing, but my kids went to an escape room, and when they got out, they got, because they got out of the room in time, they got a little trophy. It's like a little dragon holding the shield, and it says "You escaped," and it's just a 3D printed dragon, and the kids went crazy over it. And I was like, "No, I want to go in there. I want to get one." I was like, "That's pretty cool." It would be kind of cool to maybe with the how you do with the trophies for Stump the Scene Snobs, but maybe have something Carolina Fear Fest as just random awards at times, and you run around for, hey, you want to say a few words? You won the Carolina Fear Fest Best Smile Award or whatever, and stuff like that.
I always try and I end up going with more of the stuff people will find useful. So there's the postcard that's got the information. That's one thing, but pens, stickers, magnets, things that people, might actually have a reason to use when they go home. So, we're always looking for new things. Huh?
Yeah, like those tchotchkes. I love tchotchkes. like those little things you pick up along the way, like the magnets, or like when you go out to that's what we always call them, like when you go to gift shops and you get like the keychains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're always like, because you're out and you're on like vacation or something, they're tchotchkes you're carrying with you.
Yeah, I think I tend to collect shot glasses and refrigerator magnets from different places that I've gone. And then there's a few places I tend to gather coffee cups. So like I can't go to Universal or Disney without, coming home with new cups or having a friend go and ask me what I want, and coffee cup, I need a new coffee cup. So I have a new Disney coffee cup now that Destiny's
I love it
for her trip. So
I did we do that too. Like we'll buy, because that's how we replace our water bottles when they're old. Mm-hmm. If we go someplace and they have like special water bottles, we'll get them and then like throw out an older one.
Yeah.
Good little trade-off. But like I said, I'm a Chosky guy. So like whenever I go, like it's Carolina Fear Fest, they have great magnets, and I get them all the time because I love magnets. Like I throw them up on the door and such. And they have keychains are always fun. Trying to think of the other great stuff. Like you always buttons are cool. I'm a big button guy. I don't know what it was. I think buttons were just popular when I was a kid, so it just stuck.
Yeah, some people like have stickers they put on everything. Some people like magnets. Other people are all about the pins and they put them on stuff. I've had people mention patches. As another thing. I think the next thing I was thinking about was the looking into chip clips, because I have pens all over the house everywhere, but the little chip clips, I love those things. I use them for everything. And
if you're like me, and it sounds like you are, whenever one of the kids takes them and like leaves them somewhere, you get mad because you're like, no, these are like a treasure and they have to go back in the drawer. So we have them, so we always know they're safe. So yeah. Even like those chip clips that have a magnet on them.
Oh, I have them all over my refrigerator because that's where the ones I use the most. But even when the stupid magnet comes unglued and falls off, I just throw the magnet away and throw it in a drawer. I keep using the clip, so like it never dies. I still keep using it.
Oh yeah, I mean a lot of that's, and it is. I think that's the fun part about it, is like all of that stuff is either fun, like the stickers, stuff like that, or they're useful. Yeah, there's a lot of really fun, useful stuff. I saw koozies are popular. I collect koozies too, and those are always a good one. Do you guys have them in the merch store?
No, we don't. We've not had koozies. I think I did them for a haunt one year, and it just like they never went. People didn't care. So I think it was just one of those things I haven't embraced myself. So, but that's the other thing too. Yeah, trying to find what incorporate different things into our merch that we offer as well. So that's why we did like the bookmarks and the stone coasters, and we've got the magnets, or they're the magnets with the pins, so you can actually we always wear them on our shirts when we're out doing marketing stuff. So trying to just find different things for people. I mean, we have over 100 vendors at this event. There are stickers and pins and all of the things you could possibly want at all of these vendors. So if we're going to supply merch, trying to find something, maybe a little bit different that you could get too, just for the people that want to go home with that thing from the event, but are all t-shirted out. Not that we don't have t-shirts, but some people are looking for different things. So,
it could be kind of cool. Everybody loves stress balls, but maybe not a stress ball, but like something like a bone or a knife or something like that. If they make them, that could be kind of fun.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to him about costs and everything, doing them in bulk for us. But we do have one of our regular vendors, Screamfest Studios, that does all of the tombstones, does all the foam carving. They actually have some little skull-shaped stress balls.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about skulls. That would be amazing. It's like
Yeah,
the
they do
best
little
part.
skull ones at all of the events too, that they take around all of the events that they work. So I know there's things like that out there. It's a matter of just kind of sourcing it in and going from there. So
Yeah. Well, we got some people here, and they're commenting along. What's up, Radar? How you doing? Thanks for joining in. Wise, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Jazzy Chavez says, this will be my first year coming. Very excited. Well, we are so happy that you're coming. It's going to be a great time.
absolutely.
Make sure we're going to be doing these twice a month now up until the festival. So if during the shows you have any questions beforehand, please feel free to ask in the comments. Wristbands are cool too. Wristbands, that's like another good one.
Yep.
I love that. Madison says, and thank you, Renee, for that one. Madison says, will Costas still be at the con? Yeah, there hasn't been any change with Costas, right?
Yep. We have not had any cancellations to date. Everybody that we've announced all of our guests, and as of right now, they're all going to be there all 3 days. As we get closer to an event, just like any event, you start doing the travel plans, and sometimes we can't get them on a flight in time to maybe make it Friday night, or they might have to leave early on Sunday. So it's kind of like any regular con goers will tell you, you should never go to a con just because there's that one person you're desperate to see, because that one person will end up having a filming schedule or an illness or a family emergency and have to cancel, and you don't want to wrap all your plans around a person. But
and
right now we're good. Everybody is still on board, and photo ops will be going up soon. I just finished kind of working the schedule out, my rough schedule, so I can start putting up photo ops soon for everybody. And we've got a lot of fun things happening with photo ops, a lot of really good fun plans for those.
I can't wait.
Ordered some fun backdrops too, so they're going to be a little bit more interesting and exciting. I think the backdrops to them, although nobody cares, they're always focused on the people in the photo. But we were trying to keep them nice and light, the backdrop not to be the focus point. So we don't do things like with our name on it and whatever on the backdrop. But what we ended up choosing every year is very like school photo, and like it's not very interesting. But yes, we have hopefully some bloody backdrops that will be up, and make those a little bit more interesting, plus some fun things we're doing with the photo ops. And plus we always have our signs up that you can hold that make those a little bit more fun. So just lots of things that we can do to make that more of a real experience for
yeah. Well, I want to go down Madison. I want to thank you so much. Going to be great to see you coming from Pittsburgh. That's awesome. And then I'm so thrilled. I'm meeting some friends there as well, so this is truly be a wonderful experience. That is awesome. I'm so glad you and your friends can make it, and Jazzy is very excited as well, and we're happy to have you both. Do all celebs do photo ops or just certain ones? Not all, but I will let Stephanie explain.
Right now, the plan is everybody is getting a photo op at least once throughout the weekend. Some of the ones that we expect to be a little bit more popular of a photo op are happening more than once throughout the weekend. And then, for instance, some of the celebrities may be by contract saying that they'll only do one over the weekend. So they may only be on there one time because that's what their expectation is. But you should be able to catch everybody. And the way we put the photo ops up for the advanced sales, I don't know my timing yet, my schedule. So I know that we're going to do a photo op on Saturday. We're going to do one on Sunday, but I don't know what time of day those are going to be. So we do put the photo ops, and it's, for instance, it's Amy Steele photo op on Friday, Amy Steele photo op Saturday, or Sunday. So when you're buying your photo op in advance, you know what day it's going to fall on. So you make sure it lines up with your plans. But you won't know until that schedule is released. And that happens really in that last week or two before the event itself. Because we also have panels and Q&As and other things that they may be doing. We have to make sure all of those pieces are overlapping properly. So I can't give you a time of day just yet, but I can narrow it down per day. So once those all go up, you should be able to kind of get a feel. If for some reason you're only coming out for the one day and not the entire weekend, you'll get a good idea. And we're pretty flexible about those too. So if you are there for the weekend and something shifts and you've got a Friday photo op and you want to switch to a Sunday one or whatever, we can make adjustments at the event very easily. So,
and real quick before we go to the next question, I wanted to say for anybody who is interested on the Discord, which I'm putting a link in the comments now, and it's in the description in the link tree down below. There is an unofficial Carolina Fear Fest group channel on there where everybody meets and sort of coordinates. So if you guys are interested, that's over there. Radar also asks, so I know you announced the last celebrity person, announced any more celebrity vehicles.
We have the Green Goblin coming out. And my understanding is that he is planning on making that a static display. So that is going to be moved to, he's going to keep that in Ohio. It's not going to travel around after this year. That's the current plan. So this may be the last chance to see that at more of a local con for you. We do have the Creeper's cousin bringing the Jeepers Creepers truck out again. For those of you that have been out before, he's been out every year. But this year we do have Jonathan Breck. So you get a chance at some really cool photo ops with that, with the two of them together. The only thing we have, and I think we were putting up a post on this soon, is not something that we're bringing in, but the Myers House NC, which is here in North Carolina, does a number of different like film screenings and different events. He has the original vehicle from Screen Used from It Follows, and he is going to bring the vehicle out along with the one of the It's from the movie, and I want to make sure I say his name right, so I'm looking it up real quick. And that is Charles Gertner. So he was the little boy that like bust through the screen door at them. So he's coming out, and actually he's never, the vehicle's never been to a convention before, to my knowledge, and I know Charles has not been doing conventions. So, so the Myers House is coming out, and they're going to have the vehicle and Charles there, and they'll be doing signings. I'm not sure exactly how they're setting that up as far as photos or signings or what they're doing, but the Myers House is sponsoring in that vehicle.
Yeah.
And other than that, we don't have a lot of vehicle plans. We did our Hell on Wheels last year, and so we're not leaning heavily on cars again for this year. We're trying to mix it up a little bit.
I do, but what you have coming is awesome. I'm so excited. All right, so guys, I just want to announce. So last episode we did announce David Arquette is coming, and so that is awesome. Like that is just so much fun. And then of course you guys go and you're like topping it. I do hope with Dwayne Whitaker here, I'm excited. I hope I get to have some time to sit down and talk to him, because I have many questions about Pulp Fiction. And then of course Tom Arnold. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm hearing he's a fun guest, so I'm excited. I have many DMX questions. Sturdy and I are writing them down every day because Exit Wounds is a wonderful movie. And then, yeah, I don't know how you did it, but you got an ultimate scream queen, a Mount Rushmore, if you will, and that is Heather Langenkamp. I am so excited. That's like an understatement. But I am so excited. That is a great lineup. You have a
Thank
great
you.
lineup this year.
We're really excited. This year is coming together very nicely. We've got some amazing people coming in. Um, for some of you may know, so our Friday night is actually only for our VIP and weekend pass holders. You can't buy a pass just for Friday night. So we try to do a few things. It's a little bit more of a party atmosphere because everybody's just sort of jump starting their weekend. And our Friday night usually includes some stage entertainment, some things happening that won't happen the rest of the weekend. And Tom Arnold is one of them. Tom is going to be set up to be our headliner. He's going to do his stand up on the main stage Friday night. So I know we try to keep everything within the horror realm as much as we can. And definitely we all know Tom Arnold from other than horror. True Lies was one of my comfort movies. I cannot even tell you how many times I've watched that. I love that movie so much. I know we all know him from other things, but it's going to be fun to hear him do his stand up. My understanding is he's just an amazing guest to have at a convention, and he's wonderful. Hand him a mic and we're going to have a great time for an hour. So it's going to be a great time.
I'm very excited because he is a funny dude. He's very funny. And I've always enjoyed, all right. There's like one movie, The Stupids, I could not take, but I still like, he was still had very funny moments in it. And I will never take that away from him. So like, I'll give him that, but all his other movies, I've always enjoyed him. Like when he pops up, he's a fun character for sure. And True Lies, of course, is just a wonderful movie. But we do have some questions here, and I believe this one is from did I miss it? Oh no, it jumped back. Sorry. Will Thompson says, will all the guests be there for all 3 days, or will the guests be divided among the weekend?
And right now the plan is all 3 days, and that will always be the plan unless we'll post it and put it on the website under the celebrity guest listing if there's any alterations to that. Usually it becomes a travel issue, or somebody is filming late on a Friday, they can't get in. So Friday night they may not be able to be there, or some people have commitments, they have to leave a little bit early on Sunday. Saturdays are almost guaranteed that they're going to be there. And we announce that as much as we can, as soon as we know that information.
No. And okay, so Madison asked a few questions. Madison said, I bought a weekend pass, not a VIP. Should I still be okay to attend on Friday? Yes.
Friday is open for weekend pass holders as well. The difference with the VIP is the swag bag that you get when you come in, and early entry Saturday and Sunday onto the floor. And then also our VIPs have some options for either a merch certificate that they can use at our merch booth, or they can put those funds towards the Saturday night party if they want to come and drink and get stupid with us on Saturday night. So VIPs have some other things built into that pass that they've paid for. The biggest thing over the weekend, besides the goodies and the Saturday night party, is that early entry Saturday and Sunday. But with the weekend pass, you can be there all 3 days.
But I host panels on the early Saturday, so you're going to want to go. No. And also, I might do a seance, so you might want to be there for the... I'm all in. All right, so Madison, you asked two questions that are similar, but I want to... so you asked, what tips would you give for a newbie? But before we answer that, you asked a specific question, which is, am I able to bring gifts for a celeb? I would say within, as long as it's respectful, right? As long as it's respectful and doesn't push a boundary or anything. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, yes, I would say so too. I would strongly suggest that you avoid alcohol and avoid foods. Yes. Even if they're prepackaged foods of some kind, I would just avoid that, because I know how I would feel about a stranger coming up and giving me food. I'm going to smile pretty and I'm going to say thank you ever so much, and I'm going to throw it away and not eat it because I would just be nervous.
It is kind of funny.
And things like a bottle of wine or a bottle of liquor, even if it ties to a character they played or a movie that you like, you don't really know somebody's situation. So, yeah. I mean, it's a nicety. It's very possible that somebody's not going to ingest something this random strangers bring. And like you said, I would be careful and be respectful.
Yeah.
As far as what you're bringing them. But yeah, in many cases they take them and they're very excited about them. But I will also say that it's kind of up to the celebrity. So
Yeah.
if they have kind of a hands-off rule and don't want to accept things, they may not accept it. But yes,
And if I could elaborate on that a little bit, guys, always remember that too, because I always talk to a lot of people who tend to get offended when a celebrity doesn't accept a gift from them. You have to remember at the same time, a lot of these celebrities have probably dealt with situations where they've been given things in the past and it went poorly, or bad interactions in that sense. So a lot of times this is just protection for themselves in general, a general rule. So like, don't take offense to it. It's not you they're rejecting. It's just that that's their boundary. So let's respect their boundary.
Also, very small. Keep it very small, only because they very likely threw clothes for the weekend into a carry-on to get on a plane, and they may not have room to take back a giant, you brought up a thing. So just kind of keep that in mind too.
Okay, so Will has a question, and how much is it normally to take a picture on my phone with the guests, or for them to sign something when I bring, mainly for vinyl? Those are set by the celebrities, I believe, right? So it's
Now we are trying to curate a list from them, so we can actually publicize that before the event. But I don't have it back from everybody right now. I think most of the guests run signatures pretty much run in the $30 to $60 range. Then they charge for the selfie at the table. Most of those run in, again, the 20 to 60 range. A lot of them will have combos. So if you're getting something signed and want to take the table side selfie, they have a better deal that they give you. And actually, we have at least one that does the selfies free with the signature. Some of them do ramp up. That's usually signing something they have at the table. So their headshots, their photos, some of them have posters that might be a little bit more expensive. Bringing in from outside, most of them charge about the same for that, in that same range. But some might charge more depending on what you're bringing in. So I think, you're under $80 for signatures, and the selfies run less than that, for sure. So we're hoping to get, and that's just based on what I know right now. I'm still waiting for like 6 of them to get back to me. So I don't know for sure. Don't hold me to that, but that's kind of what works. That's what I'm seeing right now.
And I would like to point out too, for a lot of that, when it comes to the respect of the not just the celebrities, also their people who are with them, but the volunteers that are helping. Be respectful of them as well, because they're doing their job. They're there. They're volunteering. That they take out of the goodness of their heart and the excitement of being there. But nobody deserves to be harassed because you wanted to get something or do this or do that. We've had some issues in the past where some volunteers, get yelled at or something like that, and it's just not okay.
Also on photos, so the professional photo ops are more expensive than the table side selfies, where you're taking it on your own phone. But when you take that photo, it's you and the celeb standing together with the cool background or potentially in costume, that kind of thing. And then that includes the printout that you then can take back to that celebrity and have that autographed, rather than one of their, headshot or movie still photos that they have on the table, if you prefer. So that's always an option as well. It's the one you take on your phone is incredibly difficult to get signed by them. So if that picture turns out amazing, you're not getting it signed because it's on your phone, unless you want to like find a Walgreens and try and get it printed before you come back the next day, kind of thing. So
yeah.
And I cannot guarantee. Technically, those photo ops do not include, the professional photo ops do not include a signature. But I have known celebs in the past that if you come up with that photo you just had taken with them, they will go ahead and sign it. That's entirely up to the celeb, and I wouldn't know that in advance. So just so you're aware and planning your photos as well.
Yeah, and then another, like, again, with the respectful side of it too, like all of that is really based on the celebrity and what they want to plan and how they want to handle things. So some may want to charge. Remember, let's keep that respectful too. This is work for them. It's great to see the fans, but they're working, so there's no reason that they shouldn't charge for their time, just like anybody else. So again, be respectful of all that, but yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask in situations like that. For sure. There is over, and I did put it up in the comments and it's linked down below, but there are a list for photo ops, all the guidelines on carolinafearfest.com. It also does for press, cosplay, SFX battle, anti-harassment policy, picture policy, like all this stuff is there. Read it, follow, and just follow the rules. Have a good time.
And for the most part, most of those are common sense, and they're probably perfectly fine. But I will admit to not having gone back and read them and see if they needed updating.
and I would like to
doing other things, but
I want to point out for any podcasters that are going or content creators, I get it. It's exciting. This is a big deal for you guys, like and like to be able to talk to them and interview and stuff. But it's up to them. I am officially partnered with Carolina Fear Fest, and there's no guarantee I'm going to interview them if they don't want to be interviewed. So remember that, like, they don't owe you an interview because you bought a ticket. So let's be respectful, even if you have a press badge. Don't push your way on people or anything like that. Like, ask respectfully.
So one of the, kind of general etiquette things, what kind of while we're on the subject with celebrities, and I think the same kind of goes for vendors as well. A lot of these vendors go to all the cons. If you go to multiple cons, there's a lot of these people you either know them from previous of our shows or you've seen them around. And that's the part of the fun of a con, is getting to see your old friends. So whether it's a vendor that you haven't seen forever, or you just want to catch up with, or it's a celebrity that you want to talk to, it's good to be cognizant of everything that's happening around you, because again, those celebrities are there working, and so are the vendors. And if you're just chatting and there is a line building behind you and you're interfering with sales, it's good to be aware of that a little bit. No one's trying to suggest you don't get a chance to chat with that celeb, but it isn't a hangout with for a while and like chat their ear off. It might be that there's a line forming and you got to kind of get that quick time with them and move on. And then if you can catch them maybe at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day when they're not as busy, you can kind of loop back and get that little extra conversation time if you can.
Yeah.
But please don't be offended if the handlers with the celebrities kind of like, it's time to go. You got to move on, because there might be a line building behind you. And for every line, you have to stand there 20 minutes waiting for somebody to, like, I know we've all been there, standing there just like, what are you doing? Like, trying to fill out a mortgage paperwork up there with them? Like, move, come on. It's a lot. But one of the things that I really like about the level of convention that we have, I don't have any of those celebrities. You're going to have to wait in some lines, especially this year with some of the ones that we have, definitely. But we don't have any that we feel like we need to throw them in another room and make like a private signing room out of it. Like, I like that our celebrities are all out in the open. I love the fact that people can walk up, and even if you don't buy a signature, you don't pay for the autograph or get the photo, that you can walk up and just say, I loved you in this movie. This was great. Ask them a question. You're the best. And get out of other people's way. And you can do that without having to invest $60, $80 or whatever on something. So I like that, but we just want to be aware that they are there to, make sales. And so we can't stand there forever.
And there is a time, a meet and greet time, where you guys can ask questions, and that's the panels. especially like I've always tried to, when I'm hosting a panel, make sure I'm incorporating people's questions or feelings. You don't have to think of a question asking up. If you just want to stand up and say, I loved you in this movie, it really affected me, we want to hear that. The celebrities want to hear that. But oftentimes the panels, nobody will ask a question. So it's like, please, if you're standing online for 20 minutes, you don't get to ask it, come to the panel rooms, ask it there, and then we'll make it fun for you guys.
Yeah, I know Madison, I think, was asking the advice for newbies.
Yes. Yeah.
You have a weekend pass, so you have all weekend long. So plan your weekend. Wait until that schedule hits. Look at it the week before you come, and sort of have that plan of attack. Look at all the panels and the Q&As and say, I want to do this thing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want to do this thing at 4. And just kind of have that plan. I don't usually do panels or too much things happening in that first hour of the show because everybody kind of needs time to come in. But that information's out there. The map of the floor, the schedule, all of the things, kind of go through it all and have an idea of what you want to do. Because if you know that you're going to be there, have your ticket scanned and be ready to walk in the door as soon as the doors open in the morning, you already kind of know that floor plan because you've seen the map and you know where you want to go first. You want to go, I want to meet this celebrity, I don't care, that is my first and most priority thing, then run straight there. First thing in the morning, be there early and be ready to run. And that's the best advice I can give you, because you can prioritize a little and then make sure, you get a chance to do all of those things that you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I know with the flow of everything too, it's very easy to follow. So as you're going around, I would even plan it out in sections based on the times where you want to be. It's so inviting and friendly, the programs, the layout of everything. So it's designed that way so you can separate. And since you'll be there all weekend, what I would say is Friday night, if you go, it's a little less crowded. It's a lot easier to kind of just stroll. If you just take the first 10, 15 minutes just strolling through to see what's where, you get a kind of an idea of like where you want to make sure you go back and see too.
Right. And because you're there all weekend, Sundays are a lot less busy as well. So if there's a celebrity that always seems to have a line and you don't have time to see them because there's other entertainment or things that you want to do, keep that in mind, because you still have time to see them on Sunday. So don't feel like you have to stand in a line. And we actually have plans to do a texting, kind of like making reservations at a restaurant. So if our lines get too long for any particular celeb, we're going to start taking phone numbers and we'll be calling people back in groups. So instead of standing in a line for 3 hours to talk to David Arquette, you might just turn in a phone number, keep an eye on your phone, and you can go and shop for 2 hours or go do something else. And you get a call and then stand there for 45 minutes instead of just too much of your time. But there will be time in line. So you kind of have to factor that in. With the other newbie hint is the shopping. Walk around, look at everything, talk to everybody. It's amazing. There's a lot of hidden gems in some of these booths as well. So like you think, oh, they're doing a thing, I don't care about that. No, they've got jewelry too, or they've got artwork in the back that you're not really, stop and talk to them. It's great. Either shop right away or wait until the map hits on your program when you walk in the door, or take a little notepad or do it on your phone as a note. But if you see a vendor, go, this guy's got great stuff, I really want to come back to this person and shop later. Make a note on the program, make a note on your phone, and then before you leave, like on Sunday, then you can take that time when it's not as busy and kind of run around and finish up some of that shopping. Or you can say the celebs are just completely covered over and there's no panels I want to see. I've got 2 hours, I'm going to do some shopping.
And actually, just to keep in mind too, when you're doing that, so when you're planning all that out, like there's killer clues, and that's a really fun way to kind of explore as well, because that killer clues is sort of designed to bring you all around the convention. So like if you didn't want to just like motor through and try and see, like playing killer clues puts you in the vicinity of many great areas, and it's designed to do that so you'll see everything. So you might want to play that too, and you get some prizes and such.
Absolutely. And with the ones that don't get drawn on Saturday, hold over. So you can wait until Sunday, but if you actually get those things turned in a little bit earlier, it gives you extra chances at the drawings when
And
they start.
Radar here, who is our one of our veteran volunteers, brings up a great point. The ATM will run out, so stop for cash if needed beforehand, and then maybe that'll be a backup.
That's one of the things that one of the reasons why I want to try and put up a list for autograph pricing as much as I can. It helps you
Yeah.
plan. If you know I want to see these 4 people, you kind of have an idea of what it's gonna cost you. You know how much cash to bring in. Most of the vendors will take card. Some of the celebs will. The celebs are rarely where your cash is mostly needed. But this is also like the third time I've seen somebody mention that. And I'll be honest, I didn't realize that ATM was running out. Um, I didn't know that. So I'm actually going to, I've made myself a note. I'm going to chat with the folks at the state fairgrounds and see if we can get another ATM potentially put in for that weekend. But I will tell you, there's more ATMs on the property too. So
That's true.
there may be one in the next building over or something like that you can still go to. But if you have some idea in advance and can come in with cash, you're better off. You don't even have to
I'm not going to
worry
that
about
next building. I will never go to that next building on that weekend.
it.
No more
We're
snakes.
to bring the snakes to you.
No, you did last year. You tried to kill me with that. I demanded to be moved back up to the front.
There were some at one year. There was one in the breezeway between the two buildings as well. And there's really 2 lobbies to the building, so I'm not sure if we have ATMs in both. But I will call them and see if I can't go ahead and get them to layer another one in, which would be nice.
Yeah.
Or see if I can't get them to do a midday Saturday service on it or something to help us out with that. But
Yeah,
yes, the
good.
more planning you can do in advance, the better. Now, the parking is free, and once you come in, you have your wristband. You can go in and out of the building as much as you like.
Yeah,
So if your
good.
concern is carrying cash around with you, there's nothing stopping you from keeping that like hidden and locked up in your car. Because you can go, yes, I'm going to buy this thing. Hold it for me for a minute and run back out to your car and bring more in. I know some people don't like to carry cash with them.
So there are some rules, especially newbies and just anybody else coming that needs to hear them. I'm going to address them. So guys, hear me out and wait until the end. If I don't read these, Destiny will kill me. So remember, be clean. Shower up, make sure you're good to go. Wear some deodorant. That we're dangerously close to summertime, and as a big man myself, I get it. Let's get that deodorant on, everybody. If you're sick, stay home. I know it sucks. We hate sick, but like, really, we don't need the plague. No, I'm kidding. But getting other people sick isn't cool. So if you're really sick, you probably shouldn't come.
And honestly, that one kind of predates COVID. That's not even a COVID rule. It's more of an obvious thing now with COVID. But honestly, con crud is a legitimate thing, and it was discussed well before COVID was a thing. So
Yep.
it's always a thing. Tight quarters, and you don't want to get people sick.
And when your friendly neighborhood scene snob is standing there and he gets sick, because I did, he can't host to the most the Saturday night party, but not this year. I will this year. And then remember, this is very important. Don't touch people you don't know without their permission. And surprised I have to say this, but please don't do that. Even if like they're wearing a very cool cosplay, do not do it. Also, don't take their pictures without their consent. Anybody's. I don't care if they're in an awesome cosplay or anything. Talk to them first. Get a picture with them if they're cool with it. But do not just take pictures of people, especially women. That's weird. But it's also weird if women do all of this stuff too. So, and everybody in between. However you identify, just wear the deodorant. And yeah, so there's more rules on the website. So go check out the rest. But those are important.
The photos thing, just so everyone is aware. I mean, you're going to take photos of things you think cool, and people are going to get caught in that photo. Everybody knows that their background's a thing. But if you're actually taking a stop pose, especially if you're trying to get in the photo with somebody, let's hands where everybody can see them.
Yeah.
And definitely ask permission. Now, most people that are coming in costume probably don't care that you take their photo, but it is just the polite thing to do. Especially if you're planning on going, this thing was cool, and putting it up on among 30 or 40 other pictures that you're going to put on Facebook or out on somewhere is like, here's what happened this weekend. Those people deserve the right to acknowledge you and take that photo with you.
Yeah.
But also remember, if you're going to catch people in the background of your photos, you're going to get caught in the background of other people's. So,
Yeah.
just make sure you're prepared and you understand that you might very likely get caught in other people's photos as well. And that should be fine. I mean, it's part of the whole, the fun of the weekend, really. So
Yeah. And again, it's a level of, we're telling you to be respectful of celebrities, the volunteer, be respectful of everybody. It's politeness and manners go a long way, and they're so simple. They're not demeaning and they're not offensive. Please and thank you. It is great for everybody. So let's just do that. All right. If we practice good manners and we know, keep our hands to ourselves, be cool, let's just have some fun. That's what it's all about. We did not get to the full topic of the con focus for today, so Destiny will still kill me, but the volunteer applications are up on the website, Carolina Fear Fest, down in the description. And now you hit the volunteer tab and you can fill out. It's a lot of fun. I'll show it to you right now, so you know what the page looks like. And then, it's a really fun experience. I don't think I've met any volunteers that just didn't have a good time, and it's a good time. So, you get special access, tons of perks, free t-shirt, you become a demon.
no,
Yeah.
Reaper.
You're a Reaper.
Yes.
That's right. I'm not even a demon. What am I again?
Huh?
What am I again?
You're my favorite.
Demented. You do work with some very cool people. I love the volunteers at Carolina Fear Fest every year. It's like a cool little club. We all get together and we have some fun. And I will say this, there are some of them are, you've got some celebrities starting to miss. Angel is in a ton of movies, and we get more like indie horror actors who are volunteering there as well. So that's some really cool stuff that you might get to meet some cool people, some cool indie filmmakers.
Vendor spots are filling up fast. We're almost full. But we're still taking applications. I think we're about to start waitlisting people. We actually have a meeting this weekend to see exactly where we stand, but we're getting close. Volunteers, we can absolutely still have that open. Press passes have been released. Our tickets are up. The photo op tickets are going up soon, and all of our celebs are announced for now. And then after this, we're just going to start releasing more and more details as we get closer. So
yeah, and again, we're doing it. We'll be back again with the next episode of this on the 21st. So live. If you have questions for us, you can always ask us. But if we are live, we can answer them right here for you. So please watch. And as we get closer, there's going to be a lot of questions. And the emails tend to get really flooded, or like the social media and stuff. So utilize this to get these questions answered, because this is really good one-on-one time with the chief Demoni. And and it's a good time for it to really ask these questions and really get them, figure out what you want to do, with great information. So we'll be continuing that. So remember, if you want to volunteer, go volunteer. Remember the rules. It's important. Also, we said, we announced the recent guests. We will be showing up to other events to promote in the upcoming months. And
our next one, I think, is actually happening before our next get together. So the next place we're going to be is actually March 16th and 17th. We're going to be in Raleigh at the Playthrough Gaming Convention. And we are over by the VR gaming. There is actually a VR horror game that is being, you can sign up and sign the waiver and play that right at our booth. And we're actually talking to them and talking to the Baz and the folks that are running the whole VR setup, trying to bring on Meta as a sponsor and some of other horror gaming titles, and having a pretty significant gaming section at our event as well. We do know that the Cabin, which is the zombie shooting game that you can play through, we're almost positive. I'm almost positive they said they were bringing that one for sure to play at ours. Cool. So that will be in Raleigh. So you're welcome to stop by, get a cool pen, because they're new and I just got them in and they're awesome. Just say hi. But even a chance to play a couple of good horror titles, get a little VR action in for the weekend. We'll be there, and that one's happening before the next time we get together.
And there will be some tabletop games as well, guys. So that's going to be some fun. The gaming is, oh my God. I'm so excited for year 5. That's all I got to say. There's so much stuff like you've added to this that it doesn't just celebrate horror movies, it celebrates all things horror. And that is so much fun. And if you're a horror fan, you know what I mean by that. So I do want to, before we get going, I do want to mention the partner hotel and party venue. Book using the link. I have it down below in the description, but you can go down and check it out. Make sure you go and get your room. That is also the hotel where the party is going to be. So,
and for those that are new, that is not where we actually hold the event, but it is where the Saturday night with the alcohol is going to be. So, if you need to crawl back to your hotel room, have an excuse to do that. That is that hotel. But again, a lot of people will stay wherever. We have people that come in groups, do Airbnbs, whatever you want to do. We're not actually hosting this event at a hotel, so there's a lot of freedom to really manage your weekend the way you want. So.
And that's a cool, and I don't advocate for Airbnb, but like I like Sturdy. So anybody who knows the Scene Snobs, for Sturdy and I are partnered, and he's the horror guy, but he's coming down and he was telling me about the bed and breakfast, the B&B he's staying at. And I guess there's a ton around that area because Raleigh and Durham are, I mean, like I knew this, they're really popular, especially sports and things like that. So it's going to be, you're going to have a really good options, but the hotels around there are very cool as well. So
I will tell for the newbies, there's a hotel right there, like right next to the venue, but it's also right next to the PNC Arena. Small problem. Yeah, if the Hurricanes make the playoffs and there's a playoff game that weekend, you won't be able to get to or from your hotel. It's a nightmare because we're kind of like right near the arena, and that has happened in the past where those things cross over. So we're looking at opening up another gate so we can get in and out a little bit easier than we did before. But it definitely can cause a major backup. Everybody trying to get into the game or get out at the same time. So
yeah, you really got. I mean, that was. I had fun with it that year. I got to meet a lot of great hockey fans, but.
I mean, honestly, Raleigh is very much a 20-minute town. Where anywhere you stay, you can almost get anywhere you need to be within 20 minutes. As long as you're not trying to do it on Friday at 5:00, you're good.
But I suggest
really,
going
there's
to the
so
party
many options depending on what you're looking for. What kind of an experience you want to build for yourself for the weekend. We're trying to do all those sidelines so you can actually show up and have the entire weekend filled with horror stuff among us, con people. But if you want to be downtown by all the college bars or out near fancy restaurants, whatever you want to do, the weekend is yours to plan around what you like. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And on our next episode, because they will be going to Playthrough Gaming Zone convention, we will be talking more about the gaming, what we're going to have. Destiny will be here who can shine some light more, especially with the tabletop and such. So we'll be talking about that in the next episode on the 21st. Make sure you join in for that. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, asking questions, being a part of it, getting your tickets. And we truly love you. The film festival. I think, can they still submit? There's like a extra submitting time or?
Well, the deadline for submissions technically has closed. So if you look at it on Film Freeway, it says it's over. But if you email me, we still have a little bit of time. So anybody that wants to submit late can still get in touch with me, and I can try and get you a deadline waiver to try and sneak another film in if we need to.
I can tell you, and I watched a few of them, and I got a little scared. So I will say this: I'm very excited for that and to meet the filmmakers. So, guys, thank you again so much, Stephanie. Thank you for all this wonderful information. You are amazing.
Absolutely.
Destini for putting together a bunch of information for me as well. You guys are all awesome. I cannot wait to see you at Carolina Fear Fest 2024. 5 years of fear, and we are going to be doing this. Remember, be kind to each other, stay spooky, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.
Bye, guys.